What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell. Welcome back to Rap Talk. And today, once again, we're going to talk about some wild stuff happening. So, if it wasn't already wild that Nick Cannon has like 12 kids, just popping out kids like every month, he's literally having another baby with some other random girl, or maybe with the same girl he's had a kid with. I don't know how he's managing this along with his schedule of trying to be on multiple different shows, Wild and Out, Masked Singer, whatever else he's got going on. But now this guy has another show that he's working with Kevin Hart that's coming out in the spring, and it's essentially who wants to be who wants essentially to be pregnant by Nick Cannon. I don't know how the premise of the show is going to work out, but the fact that one, it's becoming a running joke and normalized and cool is wild, and two, it's just like this is where we're at. We're sitting there just making shows about how you should just be popping out kids. Like I thought a lot of that stuff of just having kids with many different women was left back in like the 90s, the 80s, where we had our dads sitting here having stepbrothers and stepsisters with every other woman. So now you have Nick Cannon out here kind of giving the okay, like it's cool. And a lot of us people that don't have the money that Nick Cannon has are going to continue to sit here and rack up these kids, not take care of them. These kids end up not happy, not in the best mental state because they don't have a dad or their family situation is not good and end up doing some wild stuff. May end up robbing us or something or whatever. Or, of course, can come through that regardless of their situation. I say that to say, not to get in all the wish-washiness of that all. It's just wild that we're kind of like okaying this and it's cool and all that stuff because I'm sitting here, I wouldn't be surprised in the next, maybe let's say 10, 15, 20 years when Nick Cannon's kids, these kids that are, currently babies in the toddler stages, all that stuff, once they grow up and they understand what's happening, who my dad is, all that stuff, and start realizing like, my dad wasn't there for me on my birthday or when I graduated or when I went for this or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's cool. You have money to provide, a comfortable space for me. Take me to the better schools. Have me eating the better foods, whatever. That's cool. But not having the secure foundation of having your dad and your mom in the same household and seeing them go day by day and how they handle issues and all that stuff, that messes with you. And I feel like we're playing kind of like a Russian roulette of what kid is going to be messed up and what will have to like push through to not go through the situations that Nick Cannon is essentially setting his kids up for. Because it's just a weird thing. Now these kids got tons of, step siblings essentially, and they're all going to have to be cool with each other and all going to essentially may end up bonding and hating Nick Cannon being like, yo, you weren't there for me. I had to deal with mom and grandma and my aunt, uncles, all that stuff. They had to take care of me while you wasn't here. You were working or you were with the other kid or whatever. And just building this overwhelming resentment for Nick Cannon. Just my thoughts with this show. It really makes no sense. And it's kind of further pushing that stigma that like it's cool to have multiple kids, especially, with a guy that may not be well off because a lot of us don't have Nick Cannon money to sit here and provide for 12 and probably more kids. Just a hot take. It's not the fun thing that everyone wants to talk about, but that's my thoughts as I'm sitting here thinking about that situation is wild. As always, drop your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. All that down below. It's a wild world. Peace.